I'm exploring different interactive ideas, and somehow the most important thing for me, how I understand that role that an artist plays, like a contemporary artist, it's not the only role that an artist can be, or how an artist can be. And I describe myself more like a folk or tribal artist, and I don't only mean the style, but my attitude and how I relate to the other artists, how I relate to my audience is not that role what a modern society expect from an artist, or that, but I'm trying to go back to a tribal society. And in the tribal society, honestly, everybody participated in art. They were all dancing, all singing together. They all did their own things together. So that's art for me, that kind of togetherness, how people creating together. And me as an artist, I really see myself in this context, co-creating in a tribal shared environment. So it's how you were telling the question, I just watched myself as a child playing with Lego. So for me, that playing Lego was really when I felt I'm creating, I'm the creator. And I didn't have public exhibitions, though in our house, we lived in the same house together with my father's sister's family and my grandmother. So there was 3 flats with a communal courtyard and a big garden, you know. So whenever I made something in our flat, I took those stuff out and I put into where my grandma could see, my uncle can see it, you know. They put all my creations, and I love to make airplanes and then spaceships. And I have a limited amount of bricks, but once I managed to do at least 16 separate airplanes, so I had a big kind of air force, you know. One starting point when I was around 8 years old, and I get my Commodore 64 computer, and I started to practice, and I get a very interesting book from my father. It was about generative computer graphics, so little basic code, and then on the next page really pixelated images what that code was drawing, and then some was really a tunnel-like elliptic vision, and then I get hooked and started to experiment with different code, and what a very strangely combined cycle loop in the code can draw on the screen. Yeah. It's a beautiful question, because definitely feelings motivating artists, no? Not money or fame. I mean a true artist, because sometimes artists get, you know, distracted and they're losing their own path, and then money and fame will motivate them. Temporarily it can happen with anybody really, because, you know, life is complex, our personality is not perfect. Even if you're working on it, it's still a progress. So but those artists who really down to the past, happy doing it well, they do it for the feeling. No, it's a beautiful feeling on many levels. And first, you are still alone, and you created the stuff, you seeing it, and it's just a beautiful feeling that what was inside in my mind, an idea and imagination, now it came real, and I managed to do it, and that this became a mirror to my soul. I'm see myself. Oh, that's my discovery. It's beautiful, you know. I guess that's the very first feeling. But then all the extra feelings and complexity coming when you're starting to show it to other people. Honestly, for me, art and an art exhibition is amazing. Just socializing, you know, as a person. It's already so useful. You have the chance to talk with people, and the better topic, your art or somebody else, is so important for you, you know. So for me, really just expanding my social circle, my personal circle, art is super useful. Yeah. And yeah, even higher level feelings. For example, if we talk about performing art, because I guess for many different types of art, you have different feelings and different situations and stories that leading you to that feeling. So in performing art is a very, very crucial thing. You are on the stage. If you are a writer or film director, you are never on the stage. So you can't experience that feeling, but a performer as an artist. On the other hand, for performer, the art is not objectified. For somebody who is painting, of course, when doing the exhibition, his, her own exhibition, that's a kind of climax for years and years of work of art, you know, and the process, and then is the next big exhibition is coming. It's really a kind of rebirth, or at least in any kind of powerful art, the artist itself developed. And then that exhibition, he get that feeling, oh my God, my new stuff works. And everybody will see him as a different person, because he put down into that big shared social environment. So the interesting thing, before this all interactive revolution, what actually started around the avant-garde with all different participatory, you know, since artists trying to make the audience to participate or interact, you actually just enabling those people to bring in their own message into your artwork. So now I'm not only creating my message, but through interaction I'm facilitating for other people to bring in their message and share their message through my artwork. So like that, an interactive artwork, especially what is for user participation, it's actually just a channel, a tool to amplify all the beauties, memories, feelings, and passion what my audience has. Yeah, so for me the biggest turn when I somehow realized I have an artistic ego. But for this realization, there was different artworks and people, who inspired me. And I realized for a very long time, for me, art was a kind of compensation to stand out and showing, no, you are somebody special. And why I wanted to be special? Because if other people don't think I'm special, I thought I'm valueless, and it felt so bad. But honestly, if other people don't think you are special, that's a very easy situation. So you don't need to do anything special. You just need to enjoy your life, be happy with it, and that's what people expect from you. That's a very good position, you know. But yeah, whenever I went for that kind of special state, I did very different types of art, because I had, beside my person expression and all the honest stuff, I had this hidden desire, yeah, and I wanna stand out, I wanna look special, so I overdid certain things, whatever. And how I realized in my personality that absolutely fine-tuned my art and then removed all these kind of artificial stuff that my personality deficit trying to put in my art. So yeah, it's very interesting, but it's what inspired and changed my art the most is the change in my personality. So London definitely not helping independent artists to grow. Uh, it has a good side and a bad side. So let's start with the good, because everybody knows about the bad, I guess. Yeah, and the good side, honestly, uh, the whole world is super capitalistic, and it's very nice here in Europe or in Australia, whatever. There's still some art funding, and people really without any proper job or making living, they can live from funding to funding to funding to funding. So that's why it's great, because it's important to support artists. But who knows? Any kind of benefits is a very good question. Yeah, we all agree, especially me. I'm really socially aware, so everybody needs help. But if you give help to everybody, then people become lazy and they will dependent on that help. So the big question, how can you give a help, but it's not just giving money, but giving them more education, training, and helping them to be an independent person and not, depending on fundings. But with artists, unfortunately, it's just funding, either for museums or for government, and there's a couple of private kind of dealers and investors. But most of the contemporary guys, it's all these little funding things, and what I never get in London. So first of all, I'm not British, so I never tried. I'm sure they trying to include, people for foreigners, not British people, in their own funding. But that funding is already so much smaller and get cut so many times. I even didn't feel like going into that competition like a foreigner. So why should I take away that little art funding from those people who are already here for 20, 30 years and trying to build an artist's career? But the whole thing went a very good direction, and that's what I learned in London, that the focus is not on art, but on creation. And I can create through computers, through painting, whatever, but I can create through organizing activities. And organizing activities like organizing a business. Because my creation, I want to have a positive impact. I can do the positive impact doing different criticism and good messages in my art. That's why I can push a positive impact. But if I think, okay, I'm a creator, I can use that creation to build business connections, build different little community centers, connect them, make it profitable, with certain activities, or create a creative business that has a commercial side, like marketing, advertisement, whatever, and on the other side, half of that extra profit is going to research and artistic experimentation. It's very nicely we can balance, and you can argue how the both sides of that company, the more profit oriented, because we have to make money, we need client, and the artistic side of the company that will do it for fun, supporting, inviting other artists, making talks, creating a community. But in that community, such a knowledge accumulation will happen that will optimize all the commercial activity. The efficiency, the timing, the graphic quality, or whatever. So the whole two sides are really codependent, because all this fun can't happen if I don't have money, even if you just 10% of the profit, you put it back to supporting events, communities, you know, and a couple of research and fun projects, that's more than enough to somehow explode the community, because then people will be motivated just by themselves, because it's a shared knowledge. They all happy to contribute, do more, blah blah blah. It's not only about money. Everybody loves to develop, especially these creative coders and artists. And here they have the chance, so they are just developing each other. And yeah, this is the thing I want to put in the business, and that's why I think these sustainable and positive social impact centric businesses are artworks. This is my creation. This is the utmost thing where I see I can express myself, and it will have a positive, real effect on society and economy. Don't be afraid. The thing is, it's a kind of hard game. I'm so many times afraid, and I just telling myself, oh, it's not ready yet, you know. But actually, I'm just afraid because it's never ready. And once in the rough trade, that's a record shop not far from here, I found a book absolutely accidentally. Show Your Work from Austin Kleon. And at the beginning I thought, okay, I don't need an artist psychotherapist to help me to get over my problems. But this book is full of jokes and funny things, so it's not serious at all, but somehow, and that's how I wish I will communicate. So you need to say new things, and the new things many times hurt. But if you manage to say it in a friendly way with some jokes, nice graphics, whatever, then you're saying the same thing, but you didn't hurt the other person. And that's the kind of art of communication, especially if it's very sensitive topics. So that's, maybe let's call the art of the sensitive communication. Sensitive and honest. Because many times people try to be polite because they don't want to hurt, but they can't say the truth then, if the truth hurts. Not all the time. Sometimes the truth doesn't hurt because it's just an irrelevant stuff, but very specific truth things. Unfortunately, if you want to tell it to the other person will be hurt. And in my opinion, there's an artistic way how you are saying, you're showing examples, but the whole thing is just in a sweet, friendly way, and then the other person will get it. So that's a great thing in this book. That's why I enjoyed it, because it's not, you know, attacked me, but talking about, yeah, this is all natural thing, and we can, yeah, we can have fun. That's it, and don't worry about all this shit. At the beginning, I mentioned my own role on a way. I'm more into the folk and tribal role of an artist, and that changes the whole thing. What is art for me? And this is not against other definitions. So I guess art is such an open space where nobody should be excluded. So no style, no race, and that comes to the same to defining art. So really we should be free with this question, and one definition is not against each other. They are parallel, like parallel styles, parallel interpretations, and that's why in my definition There's no kind of rage like in the avant-garde when they defined the no thing. They always kind of manifesto saying, oh yes. So my definition is a friendly definition where there's so many other definitions. I'm all aware and very interesting, and many times I'm working and using other definitions. But my main definition is art is for sharing and building community, because in the folk and the tribal age that was a very important function of art. And by now, especially in the contemporary art and art that they exhibit in galleries and trading, they absolutely went for another definition. But I still accept, but for me, just important to bring in the other balance, that much older function of art, and that's my definition. So I still couldn't properly observe whether animals do art or not, or it's only humans. I guess it's quite common sense. Everybody would say, yeah, it's only humans. We do art. And back in the days we said the same, we humans using tools, and then now they film different chimpanzees, hunting with a spear. So that's important to know, and for me it's any kind of definition and idea. If we need to consider animals, then everything has much older and different functions. If I would have only one day left, I would spend that time with my loved ones, and wherever they are, I would travel there, be with them, and use that couple of hours to share something through these bodies, because then it won't be possible anymore.